a lot of people actually want to actually change their life for better. And this particular lady is saying that she actually sells $7 canva template, and that particular template have actually changed her life. So let's watch it together and learn a lot from it. So I know a lot is going to be learned inside this particular video, and that is why I want to be watching it with you guys. So let's watch it together.
Crazy, right? I bet you do. And I would have too until it happened to me. And I didn't have a rich husband, no rich parents, no trust fund. All I had was my laptop, Wi-Fi, and a dream of finally getting out of my 9 to 5. So this is my story.
So the lady is trying to tell us that she's not from a rich family. That's what she's trying to say here, and she was able to do that.
Of how that tiny $7 product completely changed my life. And my hope for you watching this video is that you'll realize that you can build your own version of this life too and skip the mistakes I made along the way. Life before my digital product business, well, it looked good on paper. I had a good job. I'd climbed that corporate ladder like I was in the desert, and the top of the ladder was the only place I would find water. But on the inside, my job had drained the life out of me. I was constantly anxious.
That means that the work that she was actually doing, she was not happy with that. But because of the money and man have to survive, she was actually forcing herself to do that particular job.
I had no energy. I never felt like I could be my full self at work. And towards the end, I was crying almost daily just at the thought of what I'd find every day I went into the office. And I was putting so much of myself into it that I never had time for myself or for my family. And even though I'd climbed the ladder, I still wasn't earning enough to live the life I truly wanted, especially not in London.
That means that the money that she was actually making was not enough to fund for the life that she wanted to live.
Because it's expensive as hell here. My salary was good, but my husband and I still found ourselves slipping into debt as we tried to save for our wedding. And like I mentioned, we had no rich parents. This was all on us. And then 2 years ago, something really crazy happened. And I remember it so clearly. I
These are the way it can be
sell like
selling.
magic with Shopify's new AI tools and banish writer's block for.
Okay, let's go ahead and continue watching.
I was on my way to a meeting and I'd spent 2 weeks preparing for this, like 12 hours days. This was a big meeting. I had jumped on the Central Line, which is a tube in London. 1 minute I was stuck under someone's armpit because that's how packed the train gets. And the next minute I felt like I couldn't breathe. Literally a moment later, everything went black. And by the time I came around, I'd basically had a panic attack and passed out. Like, this had never happened to me before. And the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, I can't get to my meeting. I wasn't thinking about my safety or my health. I was literally thinking about my meeting and my company that I felt like I was letting down, right? And not long after, my manager literally asked me over message, oh, can you just send us the documents? And in that moment, I realized, wow, that was all that mattered, right? I didn't matter.
That means that the company that she was working for, they were actually focusing on their business and they were not focusing on her or any employee. That is a sign that like the company that you're working for, their main goal is to actually grow the company, not to make you happy or so.
My safety didn't matter. It was the documents that mattered. And it was in that moment I knew I had to find a way to get out of my 9 to 5. And I had actually tried a lot of side hustles before. I'd lost money just a year before when I tried drop shipping. I'd spent loads of money on a Shopify website.
So you can hear the lady's story. The lady is trying to tell us that like she tried multiple things before. That means that's not her first thing that she has actually did. She tried multiple things, like she started drop shipping and it didn't work out. So continue watching.
And Facebook ads, and I never sold a damn thing. A year before that, I lost over $5,000 on trading. Really ashamed to admit that. I'd also tried Amazon FBA. I tried working on Fiverr.
I love the lady energy. The lady is actually like a hustler. I really like that. She's actually a hustler. Just that she was actually trying to find her spot.
All of them were a dead end. And it wasn't just digital side hustles. I tried physical product businesses too. I tried starting my own hair extensions business. I looked into a jewelry business, and every single one of them flopped. And it was
Loving the
then I
energy.
realized that I actually didn't have the time or the energy to do anything physical. I was already so burnt out from my 9 to 5. And then the digital side hustles that I had tried were just so complicated and felt so risky. But because I am a Capricorn and because I knew my life couldn't just be eat, work, sleep, repeat, I just kept digging. I kept trying to find other ways to make money, and then I came across digital products. Now,
So
at this point,
this is where we need to actually keep our focus. This is where we need to actually keep our focus. So this is where she actually defined herself. Let's continue watching.
remember feeling so excited. Like, I don't know why, but I knew this was it. It ticked every single box. I could do it from home, nothing physical, no inventory, no shipping. There was basically zero risk. All I needed was a laptop, Wi Fi, and some time, okay? So I went down a huge rabbit hole. And long story short, I found that people were selling digital products on Etsy, and it seemed perfect. I could set up my Etsy shop without a website. I didn't have to promote on social media because Etsy would basically bring all the customers to you for free because they were already on the Etsy platform, right? And it felt like Etsy was it. I felt like I'd finally found it. So I started my Etsy business. I started creating my very first product, which was this one. It was wall art. Never do that again. I spent weeks creating these products, putting them on Etsy, and I thought I was about to get rich. I wasn't.
So let's
Okay,
continue.
my product sat on Etsy for over 6 months without getting a single sale. I was devastated. I did give up and I went back to pretty much accepting that I was just going to be in my 9 to 5 prison forever. But six
That
months
means that if you try something for the first time and it didn't work, it doesn't mean that it is not going to work. You need to continue trying. That's what the lady is trying to tell us here. You need to continue trying until that thing particular work. So let's continue.
later, I found myself back in Canva because I just knew I had to give it another chance. And instead of going for the generic products that I'd been selling previously, I started creating digital planners. Now, this was
So
the time when everyone was saying, I'm making 20K a month selling digital planners. And so I thought, okay, let me try it. So I started listing my digital planners and it was slow, but slowly, I made my first sale, okay? It was a $7 planner.
so that means the first sale was a proof that that particular concept work or that particular side hustle actually work. So let's continue watching.
And it gave me the confidence to start experimenting. I made different type of planners, and the one that really took off was a self-care journal made especially for Black women. That's when I started to get crazy sales, and it was at that point that I finally knew that I had proof. I could create something in Canva. This one had
So
taken me
let
2
me actually like put something here. You see what the lady did? The lady was actually focusing on one particular group of people and that particular product so very well. She was actually focusing on black people and that particular template so very well. That means if you're actually starting something, you need to focus on one particular thing. Don't go from one thing to another. That is what the lady did for the first time and it didn't like she didn't see any results and later on she focused on one particular thing and saw a massive result. So let's continue watching.
2 hours and people would actually buy it from me. I was shocked and I caught the bug. I started making tons of products on Etsy because that's what you have to do on Etsy. You have to keep making products, but every month it was getting better and better. And it was so crazy to me because I was a designer. I had never owned a business before and I had invested very little money into it. And all really I was paying for was my Canva subscription. And I was able to make 17K within 4 months selling on Etsy. And I
So, in case you are actually new to Canva, Canva is a platform where you can go out and design a digital product of any product that you want. And they are having free version and paid version. So, version, you can actually use it to design anything. But if you want it to go to high standard, you can go for the pro version. But if you are starting out, you can actually go with the free version. So, let's continue watching.
thought, yeah, this is it. This is the thing that's going to make me 10K months. But it didn't quite work out that way. In fact, something happened that was absolutely devastating. And it's something that I don't see anybody else talking about online. People will tell they make on Etsy, but they will leave out the part where other sellers just start copying your product. And yes, I know because it happened to me multiple times. There are people copying my product like for like. People also don't tell you that Etsy is only great for a certain amount of time. If you find a winning product, it's only a matter of time before someone else copies it. And once they do, everybody starts creating the same product, and then you get into a price war. People start slashing the price. And that's when I had to start cutting my prices. Now, by this time, I'd found a second winning product. This was my PLR digital planner, and I was selling it at the time for around $22. Now, I was one of the first
So,
people doing PLR on
you can see
Etsy,
you
and
can
this
see
is
the
where you
lady.
give someone the
You can see what the lady is actually doing, selling a digital product that you can even use 2 or 3 days to create for $22 each. Imagine you get like 100 people to buy a product. That means you're going to make insane amount of money. And if you want to take it to the next level, that's where you start to run ad on that particular product. If you are seeing results on that particular product, you can start running ad and you're going to make huge ton of money. So let's continue watching.
the rights to resell your product, but not as PLR, as another product on Etsy, right? And I was charging $22 and it was doing so well. But then everyone else started creating really cheap versions and very poor quality, might I add, of the same product. And so before I knew it, people were selling their PLR products for like 99 cents, and there was just no money left in it at all. So I went from having a best-selling product, my digital PLR planner, for $22, and it went right down to 99 cents, and it broke my heart. Like,
So this is something you need to actually learn from this lady. If you start something, just know that some people are actually going to copy you on the way, and know that a lot of competition is going to come away, and you should prepare for that. And that is what the lady was actually having as a challenge when she started her digital product journey. So competition is actually going to come on the way, and a lot of challenges are actually going to come on the way. And because of the challenges, you don't need to quit, you need to adapt to it. So let's continue watching.
I almost gave up on my dream. I almost gave up on digital products entirely. But then I realized, wait, I have proof that this works. I had designed a product and it sold. The product itself wasn't the problem. My skill set wasn't the problem. It wasn't the fact that I couldn't do this, it was the fact that I was on the wrong platform. And if that's where you are right now, if you've tried Etsy and you've either had some success or haven't had any success, and it just feels really, really tough, I want you to know it's not you. It's probably the platform. And it was the moment that I realized that I need my own site, that I needed to not have to compete with thousands of other sellers selling the exact same thing as me on the exact same page. I knew that I needed to be able to create my own experience for my customers. I need to have my own data. I need to do my own email marketing. These were the things that I was learning, and I knew they were only possible if I actually took this business into my own hands and started selling on my own platform. And so
So the lady is actually trying to tell us here or show us something here. So if you are starting a business or if you are having a business, you need to find a way that you can own your own, like your customers. Don't depend on the platform because the platform can vanish or can actually take you off from the platform and you are not going to have any customer left. That if you are starting a business, you need to find a way that you can own your customers. Find a way that you can collect their data. So later on, even if the platform take you off, you can still market your product to your customers. So that's what the lady is trying to tell us here. So let's continue.
My first website was born on Shopify. I still have it until this day. And making that change was the best thing I ever did. And keep in mind, I'm still at my 9 to 5 at this point, okay? And as soon as I moved my products to Shopify, I started promoting them on TikTok. And I was also doing a little bit of Pinterest. I was making on average $4,000 a month at this point. But then I started to run into another problem because I started to get so burnt out from marketing on social media. TikTok was my main source of traffic, and my real sales spikes only came from my lives, which was exhausting. And as a
So that means that if you're actually starting a business, there is going to be a lot of challenges and you should prepare for that. So the lady was actually having a lot of challenges, but she didn't give up. She was adapting to it.
introvert, it filled me with anxiety. Instagram was also taking ages for me to see any traction, and I had a very real fear that at any moment my colleagues, my manager, whoever, someone at work would find out about what I was doing because my face was on social media and my career would just blow up. I wasn't ready to leave my 9 to 5 yet. And so, very quickly after moving off of Etsy, I realized I needed another way to promote my digital product and get traffic to my pages without burning out on social media. And then one day I logged into Pinterest and I saw that my numbers had been going up, right? I was starting to get clicks through my Pinterest marketing. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go all in on Pinterest. It was great because I didn't need to show my face. I didn't need to post every day. I didn't need to dance on TikTok or do any stupid little trends. All
And
I
that means that if you're actually like the kind of person who is actually shy or you don't want to show your face, you can actually start this particular business that the lady was actually doing. And you will not be showing your face, but still you can use it to market your product and make money. That's what the lady was actually doing. She was actually the shy type and she was actually using the other means to market her product and she was getting sales through Pinterest.
I needed to do was post pins and make sure that I had the right keywords and create nice looking pins that actually attracted people to click on it, right? And it would literally drive a ton of people to my digital product landing page where people buy. And so I went all in. Pinterest was the thing that really opened up the next stage of this journey for me. And after going all in for just over 3 months, I was finally making more money in my digital product business than I was in my 9 to 5. And that was the moment I thought, oh my gosh, wow. Like this could really work. But I was still scared, okay? I'd overcome all the problems on Etsy, I'd overcome the marketing challenges, but I just still didn't have the guts to quit my 9 to 5. So for a good 6 months, I was juggling everything. And I also started my YouTube channel at this time. So I was just completely burnt out. I knew I had to make a choice, like something had to give. I either had to go all in on this digital product journey, trust God, and trust the process, or I was going to keep trying to juggle them both and stay extremely unhappy and burnt out. And
That means risk taking was what the lady was now scaling for now. She was either to take the risk of going into the digital product aspect or keep her 9 to 5 and still be working on it. And that was a lot of time to work on. So you need to actually take risks from time and make sure you are taking calculated risks when you are taking risks. Don't just take any risks, take a calculated risk. And we are going to continue and see what she did next.
so and I prayed to God and I said, okay, if it's time to quit my 9 to 5, I'd spent 15 years building, I needed a sign. And then God made the decision for me because I got a phone call on Friday, the 30th of May, 2025, at 1 p.m. I remember it clear as day. It was 2 hours after my manager had cancelled our one-to-one out of the blue. And even though I'd kind of been expecting this day, something deep inside told me that like this day was coming. I honestly thought it would be me that made that choice. I thought it would be me sending in my resignation. I'd even put a date in my calendar, guys. I literally had a date that said send resignation written on it. I'm a Capricorn, I'm a planner, but they beat me to it. And this phone call, it was really emotional. I'd been at the company for over 7 years. I was a director. I had given so much to this company, and so much of my identity was tied up in this corporate job that I actually hated. And so after 10 minutes on this call, I was basically told, I had the choice on whether I wanted to take redundancy or not. But they told me that I had 2 weeks to let them know. And I was in shock. I literally didn't say anything on this call at all. 10 minutes of them speaking at me, and then they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "Is this call done? Can I log off?" And they were like, "Yeah, you can log off. You can take some time to think, okay?" And this was a Friday. It was my sister's birthday.
So
Make it a habit.
that's it at disturbing us. So let's wait for it to skip.
Birthday, bless her. And I just knew, like, I was not going to let this ruin her birthday. So
That
we
means
went.
that if you are actually starting a business, know that anything can happen at any time. You can see that the lady was actually thinking either to quit her job or focus on her business. But later on, she received a call from the company and they were telling her if she wants, she can actually resign from the company. And you can see what actually happened. I think the lady too was actually preparing for that and it just happened. So let's continue.
Out and we had a good time. And if you met me on that day, you would have seen me laughing and dancing. But inside, my heart really felt like it was breaking. And 2 days later, that Monday morning, I had already made my decision. Like, I did not need 2 weeks. I sent my email and I said basically, peace out. And that was it. I'm out. And my career was over in a blink. And it felt very scary, very scary. But it was also one of the most freeing moments of my entire life. I felt like it was the answer to the prayer that I'd been praying for years. And I knew one thing: I wasn't ever applying for a job again.
This is what you need to know. That means anything that happened into your life, it happened for a reason. And you shouldn't actually say, okay, why did God did this or God did that? God knows the reason why she actually did that. So knows that anything that happened in your life, it happened for a reason. And this particular lady was actually going through that particular drama, and actually she figured it out later. So let's continue.
No matter what it took, I was going to make this work. I knew I was never putting my finances, my safety, or my happiness in the hands of any other company or any other person that wasn't myself. I knew this was the start of a new life for me. And so 7 months later, fast forward to right now, I can't even explain how much my life has changed since that tiny $7 Canva template. It's literally night and day. Last month, I hit my first 18K month, the biggest month of my business yet. I no longer wake up stressed and anxious. I don't even set alarms anymore. And back in my 9 to 5 job, I had a
This is what I want you guys to actually take note on. Build something that can be making money for you while you sleep, and you can see that she will actually create a digital product, and she was actually marketing it on social media. And as you sleep, if you're having a digital product or if you're having a business running while you sleep, that means that's the best way that you can actually make good amount of money and buy your own freedom. And social media nowadays, you can actually use it to sell anything. If you're having any idea, bring it to life with social media. And that is the digital age that we are actually living in. So let's continue.
zero control over my time. I couldn't even book a vacation without waiting for approval, which just never sat right with me. But now I work when I want. I don't work Fridays ever. I travel when I want. I see my family more. I'm more of a present wife. And I love what I do, and I feel insanely blessed and grateful to be able to help other people get the same results I did, and usually in way less time. And I hope I don't jinx this, but literally tomorrow we will be getting keys to our brand new house. Now, I won't feed you any bullshit.
You see the power of digital product. The lady was actually able to buy her first home with digital product, and you can see what it can do for your life. So if you are having any idea, you can turn it to digital product and sell it, and you're going to actually make some living out of it if you know what you are doing.
When I say this doesn't happen working 8 hours a day, not at the start, okay? I work hard, especially now that I also have my YouTube channel. But here's the thing, it's work that I actually enjoy. I wake up excited to do it, and yeah, I still get pretty tired, but it's the kind of tired that feels good because I'm building something that matters to me. Like, is that kind of tired. And back in my 9 to 5, it didn't matter how much work I did, how many extra projects I took on that weren't my job, how much I helped do my manager's job, I still got paid the same. And I would get passed over for promotions that I should have got. I had to shrink myself to make other people feel comfortable. And I had to code switch. That was probably the worst of it all, and work with people that I would never have even spoke to in real life. Now, think about it. Your income at your 9 to 5 is literally capped no matter what you do. That's just the reality of it.
That means your income, you can't actually do anything about it when you are actually a 9 to 5 worker. Your boss decides how much you're going to be paid. And for digital product, like the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want, and you can still make a lot of money out of it. If you know how to market, you are going to make a huge ton of money out of it.
Now my income isn't tied to my hours anymore. My income is never capped. It's not about how long I sit at a desk. I get to choose when I work. I get to choose when I want to go harder and when I want to make more money, and also when I want to take a step back and let my AIs and my systems do the work for me. And honestly, even if one day I made a bit less in this business than I did in my old job, I had a 6 figure job, okay, I'd still be fine with it because I genuinely enjoy what I do. I don't have to get on the train every day. Like, I feel free. And there are times when I'm helping my students and I feel like I could do it for free. I mean, I can't because bills and my new mortgage need to be paid, but you know what I mean. I enjoy it that much. And I have gone from feeling drained all the time, finishing work and wanting to just cry the whole way home, never having energy, never really being able to cook what I want for dinner because I was.
That means a lot of people are actually in some jobs that they are not happy with it, but because of the money, they are just still in that particular job. And if you're that kind of person, you need to start to learn a particular skill that can take you off that particular job. If you are in a particular job and you're not actually happy with that, you need to find a way that you buy your own freedom. And that's this particular lady was actually able to buy her own freedom through selling digital product. And you can also find a path. It doesn't mean that you need to also start digital product. You can also find something that you are interested in it and you are passionate about it, and you can also make money out of it. And how will you know that? Sometimes you need to actually look, like just look around you and see if you are like you see a particular problem and you can solve. That's a sign that, oh, you are like you are capable, or you can actually do something along the way and make money out of it. So you need to figure out who you are and be able to use that particular opportunity to actually save yourself from a toxic work that you have been doing. So let's continue.
So burned out, waking up, going to work, counting down the hours, coming home, crashing out, and then doing it all over again, and pretty much living for the weekend before. But I never even enjoyed the weekend because Sunday was always here so quickly, and then I had anxiety about the week again. I've gone from all of that to waking up and actually looking forward to my day. Every day is different. I get to help people, I get to have an impact, I get to feel excited again. And I never used to see myself as a creative person before. But now I get to be creative because I can build a business that's completely mine. It's just me. I'm the only one in this business. It's a one-person business that nobody can ever take away from me. And something that I never realized until recently, I no longer pray to God to change my job or give me more financial security. I don't pray those prayers anymore. You might be watching this and thinking, okay, it's great for you, Rochelle, but that could never be me. And I used to like think that exact same way too. I thought starting a business was for really smart people or people with rich parents or people with
That means that everybody or anybody can actually start a business and be successful. So don't limit yourself. If you are having any idea, try it out. If you try it and it doesn't work out, that's actually fine. There is no harm in trying. So if you are having any idea, don't actually wait too long. Try it out and see if that particular idea is actually going to work for you. So everybody can actually start a business, and that particular business is actually going to work, depending on the effort and the expertise that you are having in that particular business. So let's continue.
rich partners that could actually invest in them and the business, or even those people with loads of fancy LinkedIn connections, okay? But look at my story. I didn't start with anything fancy. I had no design experience, no business experience, no audience. I built everything through Pinterest and YouTube. I had zero people waiting for my product when I started. I had no audience, okay? I had no one ready to buy. I just had a laptop, I just had Wi Fi, and I just had a dream to quit my 9 to 5. The other thing I had.
That means if you are having Wi-Fi or internet connection, you are having a phone or a laptop, then and you are actually a type of person who is actually ready to dedicate your time, you can be successful in the online space. And that is what this lady actually did, and she was actually able to come out successful. So you need to figure out who you are and master one expertise or master one particular knowledge and use it to your advantage to make money out of it.
Had a crazy amount of determination because I kept going through the Etsy drama, through not knowing how to market my product on social media, through juggling my 9 to 5, through being made redundant. I had a lot of low points, but I kept going because I knew I wanted a life of freedom and flexibility. I wanted to be at home for my future kids. I wanted to wake up and think, oh God, like, thank you. Is this really my life? And I can honestly say, I do wake up with that feeling now, but only because I actually took the first step. And so, if there's even the tiniest part of you wondering if there's more to life, wondering if you could try something like this, then this is your sign. Start small. My first sale was $7.
So that means you don't need to actually start big. Start with what you are having. If you are having a phone and internet connection, start with that. If you are having laptop, that's another extra bonus. So start with what you are having. If you are having anything that you have and it can be connected to the internet and be able to actually post, start with that.
I started scared. I started very unsure. I started without knowing all the steps. God, I started without a plan. And you actually have way more opportunity than I did because you can learn from all the free content I put out here on YouTube. No one was doing this when I started. I give you the step by step. So a year from now, you could be making your own video like this, telling your own story about how everything changed in your life. This doesn't have to just be my story. It could 100% be you. You just have to believe in yourself enough to start. And not just to start, actually, but
That means believing in yourself is the number one thing that can actually help you to achieve this kind of dream. You need to believe in yourself that you can actually do it.
keep going. And the best part is, it will literally take you 10 minutes to get your plan. Whether you're just started, whether you've created digital products in the past that haven't sold, whether you've taken a break and don't know how to pick it back up, or even if you've gone full time in your online business and it just isn't working out the way you hoped. I built a free tool to give you a success plan no matter what stage you're at, okay? I built it to give you a clear, practical plan based on everything that helped me get to a consistent 6-figure digital product business. All you need to do is click the link below, pop in your email address, answer a few quick questions, and
so this is actually the smart part of this lady. You see that as she make the video, and at the end of the video, she's actually marketing her services to the viewers. And that is actually something you need to actually learn from it. That means every video of her, she's actually marketing her digital product. and like services. So something like this, she can be marketing her digital product, she can be selling physical product, and she can be doing drop shipping, affiliate marketing. A lot of things can happen here. And coaching, she can be selling coaching services through this particular digital platform. So pick one platform, master it, and you're going to enjoy the fruit of your labor.
And it will generate your custom game plan, okay? Built from my strategies, the ones that have actually worked in the last few years. And my experience, okay? The exact step that I used to get here. I created this so you don't have to waste any more time. No more wondering if there's more to life. No more ignoring that little voice telling you that you're meant for more. So here's the one thing I ask in return. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then check out this video on your screen.
So you can see that she's actually encouraging the viewers to either hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. That means that she's actually getting more audience as well and pushing her video to other viewers through likes. And you can see that that's actually marketing. The lady actually understands marketing, and that is what she's actually implementing, and it has been working for her. So I think you guys learned something from this particular video, and I think we are just getting to the end of the video. So let's continue and just end it and see how the lady
Next,
end.
to the exact 5 steps to start your digital product business today. Okay? Don't grab your game plan below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
You see, she market her product again before the end of the video. She just market it, telling the viewers to subscribe, like, and do whatever. And after the end of the video, she market it again. That means marketing is a continual process. It's not something that you just do it once and stop. And if you want to get good results, that means you can always market your product. If you are making videos, you can market your product either at the middle of the video, you can market it there, and market it also at the end of the video. That is very important. And if somebody watch your video all the way from beginning till the end, that means the person is actually interested in what you are doing. And that particular lady understood that, and she's actually using it to her advantage. You can see at the beginning of the video, the lady actually didn't market anything. But at the end of the video, the lady actually market something. She's aware that anybody that watch her video all the way from beginning to the end, that particular person is actually interested in her idea, and that is what she's actually using to her advantage. And I think we are done with the video, so I will goodbye you guys here for now. So if you are actually watching to this part, thank you for also watching, and I hope you actually enjoyed the video. And if you enjoy it, just comment your favorite part of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. So we are actually ending the live.
Nothing captures viewers' attention more than a whiteboard video. The most exciting news is that this Christmas you can